Hey y'all, in this video I'm going to be going over all of Joy and Sadness's quests. To start the first quest, you will have to do Joy's first, so I would up her friendship level first, and it is Capture the Sun quest. Now, when I started this quest, some of it didn't save, so the first thing you have to do at the beginning of this one is you need to take a picture at the south end of the Peaceful Meadow, which is by the stairs to Dazzle Beach. You'll then need to take a picture with Joy in front of Dreamlight Castle by the fountain, and then you will have to go inside Dreamlight Castle and take a picture with Joy. You will then go talk to these characters um, to continue on with her quest. Now, each of these quests, it'll be joy, sadness, joy, sadness. You can only continue on with the quest line, doing one at a time. So you will need to want to work on their friendship levels at the same time. And then, so we talked to Merlin, Goofy, Donald, and Vanellope. These are all still part of this quest line. Then you're going to go and talk to Joy, and she's going to talk about a flagpole and kind of help you there. You're going to have to go and craft it. You're going to need 10 softwood, 5 yellow daisy, and 1 topaz. I had these all in my storage, so I didn't have to go and gather these materials. You would then give the flags to Joy. Once you give them to Joy, you are then going to have to go into a Dreamlight Castle, where you are going to take a picture of everyone about to play the game. Once you take the picture, there's going to be these little suns floating around, and they are so stinking cute. As you can see, the characters are chasing after them, and it's really funny. You will need to gather 3 of them, and once you gather those 3, you'll go back down to the stairs to your flag, which will be sparkling, and transfer those over. Once you do that, you will talk to Joy, and then you're going to open the prize that she gives you for winning, which is this little bear head right here. And she is so confused why you get a bear head. It's kind of cute. And that will end Capture the Sun. That will then open the quest that you can do with Sadness. You will talk to Sadness to begin her first quest, which is Storms Brewin'. Now, once you talk to her, you are going to, take a picture with one of these indoor rain clouds. I went to Chez Remy's, and you take a picture of those rain clouds, and then you'll talk to Sadness, who will then tell you to go and talk to Joy. Once you are done talking to Joy, you're going to go and gather 10 blue flowers and give them over to Sadness. I had a bunch of flowers already, but if you don't, you can use, the vacuums or just go around the valley and find 10 blue flowers real fast. She's then going to have you craft these glasses with those materials that you've seen there. Like I said, I had these. If you don't, you'll have to collect the stuff. You're then going to make 4 tissue boxes for Sadness. And then once you're finished with the tissue boxes, you're going to give these materials to Sadness. She is then going to ask you, talk to you about it, and then you're going to have to go and talk to Remy while wearing the glasses. So you're going to have to wear these for the rest of the quest, or at least we're talking to Remy. I ended up just leaving them on for the rest of the time that I was working on these quests, so it was really simple. Once you're done talking to Remy, you're going to talk to Sadness. And then you're going to go into Scrooge's and you're going to talk to him while wearing, these prying glasses. I'm pretty sure you need to leave them on for this whole thing. And then you're going to go inside Dreamlight Castle and talk to Mickey while he is under all these rain clouds. And then you're going to talk to Sadness. Once you're done talking to Sadness, you're going to go out to the plaza, and to the right is where I found them, and you will see 2 little rain clouds. And you're going to take a picture of them, and then you're going to go back to Sadness. She's going to give you some of her tears. You're going to use those that she gave you in your inventory to kind of go on your watering can. And then once you do that, you're going to go back to those clouds and you're going to use your watering can on them. And then if you look to the right, you're going to see 2 more. You need to water 4 in total, and this giant bear body is going to pop up. you're going to pick up the bear and then go and talk to Sadness, and that will complete Storms of Bruin. Now, once you finish this quest, you can then go and talk to Joy, because now her next quest is open. Like I said, each quest with them is back to back, so this next one is called Mood Swings. Um, First, you'll talk to Merlin, but I would, as you're playing this, I would maybe get their friendship levels up all the way before you play it, because you'll just be going back and forth. You will then talk to Goofy and Donald and Vanellope again. A lot of these quests are going back and forth talking to characters. And once you're done talking to them, you're then going to talk to Joy to figure out what you should do next. You're then going to meet Joy and Donald inside his house and talk to him, and he's going to tell you, what his issues are. You're then going to have to use your pickaxe, and you will break apart this couch. Then the table over beside his bed, you're going to break it apart, and then you're going to walk over to the bookcase right here to the left and break it apart. So once you're done breaking those apart, you're then going to talk to Donald again. And then you will have to go to the Dreamlight library, where you're going to have to kind of do something similar in his library. You're going to find these little potions, and there are 4 total, and you're going to transfer them over to the bookcase that's to the left back wall. Go around and, clean up the dust. There was a potion back there, then there's a potion underneath that right cornered web. You're then going to put those in the little bookcase back there as well, and then you'll talk to Merlin. Once you talk to Merlin, you're going to go find Vanellope. You talk to Vanellope, she's going to give you this recipe of Joyful's meal. So then you're going to go and cook this meal, and it requires banana, raspberry, whatever, and then you're going to give it to Vanellope. Once you're done talking to Vanellope, you're then going to talk to Goofy, and you're going to have to craft this new shiny fishing rod. You will need those items there to craft it, so you may have to do some gathering. I didn't, I already had it in my storage. You're then going to give these to Goofy. You're then going to go to the big pond in the peaceful meadow, and over here by that big rock is where mine was. It's in an orange circle, and you're going to fish out the thread. You're then going to go to Merlin and give him the thread. So it's like Merlin's going to end up with everything within these quests. You would then talk to Joy, and that completes the Mood Swings challenge or quest. Joy's quests are a lot shorter than Sadness's quest for most of this, but that now opens the Fortress of Saditude with Sadness. So you'll talk to her, and then she is going to have you take a picture of potential locations for a cozy fort. So you will take a picture in front of the library, which is Merlin's house. You will take a picture in front of your house, and make sure you are close to these. You can't be far away to take the picture. You have to be right up against it. Take a picture at Scrooge's shop, and then you're going to talk to Sadness again. Once you're done talking to Sadness, you're going to have to gather up all of these materials. I already have these in my inventory, so I didn't have to do any of that. So the only thing I had to do was get the feathers. I found 3 in the plaza, just kind of walking around, and to the right and left of the peaceful meadow, and then there was another one right there. If you have troubles finding the feathers, go into furniture mode, and that'll really help you place them. So there was another one there. There was 3, and then there was 2 right when you walked on Dazzle Beach. And then if you walk around, the edge of the beach, there was another one. And then the last one I found was over by the cave, and that gives you all 10. Now, once you find all of those, you're going to craft the pillow fort. So, and then after you craft the pillow fort, of course, you're going to place it somewhere in the valley. I placed it on the beach next to their little house. Then you're going to talk to Sadness. Then after you talk to Sadness, you're going to purchase, pillow from Scrooge, and then you're going to talk to Goofy. The pillow is 480 star coins, so if you don't have star coins, you are going to have to get some. You're then going to talk to Wally about his pillow. So once you talk to Goofy and Wally about their pillows, you're going to go into Wally's house, and you will see a little cube there, and you will break it apart with your pickaxe, and that gives you his pillow. Then you're going to go to Dazzle Beach, to get Goofy's pillow, and it is right in front of the big steps down into Dazzle Beach. Once you have those, you're going to go over to the pillow fort that you placed in your valley and transfer over those pillows that you just got. Once you're done with that, you're then going to meet Sadness in the fort and talk to her. And then you're going to add some furniture around that area. Once you do that, you can kind of take like a picture that it does with some of these quests. And then as you can see right there, a little orb floats. And then there's some materials that drop you pick up. It is some cotton. So you would then talk to Sadness once again. And you'll meet her on Dazzle Beach at the dock. And that completes that Fortress of Sadness quest, which then now unlocks the next quest for Joy. This next quest for Joy is the Imagination Land. So the first thing you have to do is follow Joy to the Forgotten Lands. Once you get there, you're going to talk to her, and she is going to tell you need to go to the Fairy Godmother's house. So once you go into Fairy Godmother's house, look around, you just see like some dreamlight looking glitter, and you will open it up, and it is Forgotten Land plants, and you will give those to Joy. Once you give them to Joy, you are then going to go back to the Forgotten Lands, and you're going to have to water 5 fires and get rid of 7 night thorns.
Really?
Once you're done with that, you will talk to Joy, and then she is going to have you craft the Imagination Land Arch. So go to a crafting station, and you will need 3 topaz, 2 yellow Nordstrom, and 10 dark wood. So if you don't have those, you will have to gather them. I already had them. Once you do that, you will have to craft 10 flower pots, and you're going to need clay and soil. Then you're going to take those flower pots and turn them into sunflower and yellow daisies. You're going to need sunflowers and yellow daisies to go with the pot. You're then going to give those to Joy, or go talk to Joy, and she's going to give you the sign back that you had gave to her. You're then going to place these somewhere in your Forgotten Land, and once you're done with that, it's going to allow you to take a picture. Then after you take your picture and you exit out of that, you're going to talk to Joy.
Okay.
And then when you're done talking to Joy, you're going to have to clear 7 more night thorns because they popped up after talking to her. And under one of these is going to be some like
Well, hello.
yarn or whatever, and you're going to take it to Merlin, and then you're going to talk to him about it, and then you're going to talk to Joy, which is going to end the Imagination Land quest. Her quests are pretty quick, pretty easy, and then you're going to talk to Sadness again. This one is the Big Worry. So you are going to talk to these characters. You're going to talk to Mickey. You're going to talk to Wally. You're going to talk to the Beast. You're going to talk to Remy. And then you're going to talk to Elsa. A lot of her quests are a lot of running around. Hers have taken the longest. Joy's, there's maybe a lot of gathering of stuff if you don't have it, and that might take you longer with her stuff. Sadness is going to give you 2 recipe books that if you don't have these recipes already, you will unlock them. You are going to have to cook 2 gooseberry boba teas and 2 margarita pizzas. Once you're done cooking those, you are then going to have to go and gather up these materials. You're going to need some flour, you're going to need some fabric, you're going to need some soft wood. And then you're going to go and make 4 tissue boxes. Once you're done making those, you're going to then hand those over to Sadness. Once you're done, you're going to meet Sadness in their little house, and there's going to be a group, and then after you're done talking to Sadness, the Big Worry orb will pop up. You're then going to take it out of their house after talking to Sadness, and you are going to plant it. You're then going to water it to let it grow. Now, I used a miracle growth elixir, and that allowed it to grow, immediately. But if you don't, it may take, 15, 20 minutes. I don't know exactly to grow. I don't know what the time frame is on it. It'll then give you some buttons, and then you will talk to Sadness. Once you talk to Sadness, you're then going to have to go around and find 12 clouds like you did in the other quest and get rid of them. There was one at the beginning of the plaza, another one in the middle, and then there was another one towards the other side of the plaza on both ends, going into the peaceful meadow. So there was three in the plaza, and then if you just kind of walk around the peaceful meadow along your pathway, they're not hard to find. They're pretty simple. Um, there was four in the plaza, four in the peaceful meadow, and there's going to be four on Dazzle Beach. One when you first walk in, one around the beach's end, one on the Skull Island, and then one right by the steps going into Dazzle Beach. Once you find them all and you water them, you're going to then talk to Sadness. This was probably her shortest quest, the big worry, so it was pretty simple. So far, I haven't had any glitches except for the last quest with her. The Dreamlight Little Dream, I believe this is Joy's last quest. You are going to talk to Sadness after you start this quest, and you're then going to have to go back to the realm. And if you go to the very back, you will open the storage box, and that is going to be the documentation you need. You're then going to go to like the big memory area, and if you walk over here to the right, that's going to be the paint can that you need. You're then going to enter into the dreamscape where you had to do like the dreams or whatever for Riley. If you walk to the right back, to the back of the right, you're going to see the cameras next to the blue chairs and the lights. There's also a chest back here, in case you didn't know, with a furniture pouch. You then continue walking by the sign, and that will be your other spotlights that you need to get. Once you get those, you're going to bring those to Belle. And then after you talk to Belle, you are then going to talk to Joy. Once you're done talking to Joy, you are then going to make this camera filter lens, and you will need one of each regular gem from Dreamlight Valley. So if you don't have those, you will need to gather those. You're then going to enter the little cave in the frozen lands, and each little sparkly thing is going to have a little thing where you transfer the stuff over that you just collected.
Really?
You will then talk to
We'll talk
Joy.
again soon,
Once
okay?
you're done talking to Joy, you're then going to put the lens inside the camera, and then you're going to talk to Sadness. When you're done talking to Sadness, you are then going to talk to the Forgotten. My Forgotten's name is Selena. Once you talk to her outside in the valley, you will then go back into the cave, and you will talk to her again. And then as you see, the lights are going to go haywire. It's going to act all crazy, and then you're going to talk to Joy, who is then going to tell you you're going to have to, make new light bulbs for it. So you're going to have to exit and craft these light bulbs. All you need is glass for those. If you don't have glass, you will need to gather those. And then give the light bulbs to Joy once you're done. And then these little stools are going to pop up. You're going to have to make it, the first one is yellow moon. And I did red, blue, yellow, and then red. And as you can see, as you're pushing them, they're changing colors. You will then listen to them perform for a second, and then now you gotta do sad blue mood. And I just went over and hit the blue, and that worked for that one. Then the next one is going to be an angry purple. I hit blue, and then I believe I hit yellow, and then I did red, and then blue again. Something like that. Or red was at the end. I don't know if you have to do it in a certain order, but that's just what I did. You'll then talk to Joy, and she's going to give you her little outfits, and that completes all of Joy's quest. And when you complete Joy's last quest, that will open Sadness' last quest, create a bear. Now, this one, you have to go find these memory fragments outside your house, outside where many worlds are, and then where Joy and Sadness control emotions. My house is in the peaceful meadow, and as you can see, walk around, it did not spawn for me. It did not show up. This quest glitched for me, so if your house is not where it originally is, it's probably going to glitch and not work. Alright, so the next one is going to be inside the castle, and it is going to be down next to Remy's door. And then the last one is going to be in the inside out realm. It's going to be behind the craft station. Now, for me, this still hasn't worked. Eventually, I hope it will. I know you will end up getting materials or putting the memory together, and then you'll give the materials and create the bear, and then that will end this quest. But I cannot go any further because it glitched for me. I even tried putting another house up in the area where it went, and as you can see, it still didn't spawn for me. So hopefully they fix this soon so it can finish. So be aware before you start that quest. Have your house in the old spot. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be posting and going live maybe Sunday with decorating some Star Path items. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you.